Awesome.
November 928 July Alpha, Renton ground, runway 16, taxi via Alpha.
Okay, cameras are rolling. Log. One 9.2. Okay, everybody ready?
Ready?
Yeah. Okay, gear up. Wow, this is awesome.
Skyline 6 Delta Juliet, contact Hill departure, have a good flight.
Going departure, Skyline 6 Delta Juliet. Seattle departure, Skyline 456 Delta Juliet, 600 for 3,000 off of Renton.
456 Delta Juliet, Seattle approach, radar contact, climb and maintain 4,000.
I maintain 4,000, 456 Delta Juliet. So now I'm on a prescribed plan right now, so I'm going up to 1,000 feet, then I'm going to turn left to 130 heading. So SeaTac's right there, right? And Boeing Field's right there. So they got to get us out there. There's one.
Turn left heading 0.
So she's going to be telling me some stuff here in a second. So just hold comments for a little bit. I just turned on the autopilot, let it do the work for me. She's going to give me a left 360 turn pretty soon, I think. She might turn me that way. We're going to go straight over SeaTac.
Nice.
Fortunately, we'll be in the clouds, so.
Austin 312, traffic 2 o'clock, 5 miles westbound, descending to 10,000, 3737.
Alaska 312. Alaska 312 is visual to traffic dispatch.
Alaska 312, climb and maintain 15,000.
Up to 15,000, Alaska 312.
November 6 Delta Juliet, turn left heading 270.
Left 270, 6 Delta Juliet.
Alaska 312, proceed direct Normie, contact Seattle Center 127.05.
Direct Normie 12705, Alaska 312. South departure Alaska 306, pass on 1,800 for 7.
Alaska 306, Seattle departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 9,000.
Climb within 9,000, Alaska 306.
Lotus 4 Alpha Lima, contact Seattle Center 120.3. Good day.
1203, have a good day, Lotus 4 Alpha Lima.
We're heading right back to where we took off from right there. Now we're heading to the west. You can see the Olympic Mountains. We're at 3,000 feet. We're climbing to 4,000. So this is our turning out onto 270, which is due west. So Hoquiam, Ocean Shores, that way. And here's where we are right here.
Alaska 306, proceed direct Normie.
These are planes coming into SeaTac, which is right there, basically. That's street map. Be a little easier to see for you. We are here. There. Go. Okay, 3,700 feet. We're going to level off at 4,000. Turn off the engines. You'll hear the engine just change pitch and stuff as I get it set up. That noise was that there's 200 to go till we get to
306, climb and maintain 15,000.
Climb maintain 15,000, Alaska 306.
November 6 Delta Juliet, contact approach 125.9er. Good day.
125.9er, thanks, 6 Delta Juliet. Seattle approach, Skyline 456 Delta Juliet, 4,000, heading 270.
Skyline 456 Delta Juliet, Seattle approach, altimeter 3003.
3003, 456 Delta Juliet.
trim for our flight, and then we'll just cruise on up there. Close the cowl flaps. Just cleaning out the engine, get it all perfectly set up for cruise flight. So we're on a less busy frequency now. We're not on the departure frequency, where the person is coordinating all the flights in and out of SeaTac, or out of SeaTac. There's a different controller for the people coming into SeaTac. So it's a little quieter on this frequency, right now anyway. And so what we're going to do is we're going to basically, you probably can see, yeah, there's a plane going into SeaTac right over there. Just went into the clouds. So they're kind of going into the clouds.
6 Juliet, right, 290.
Right, 290, 6 Juliet.
He's starting to get us heading in the right direction. So we're right on top of SeaTac right now. So somewhere out here, you probably can see headlights of landing lights of airplanes. Maybe up to a little bit to the right of the strut now. Out there, there'll be maybe some planes you'll pick up coming in. And you can see Mount Baker out there too, way in the distance. I think that's Baker. No, that, I'm not sure. Can't tell right now. It's a little close for Baker. We're just going to go out there a little ways and then head north, west to Friday Harbor. You can see it's kind of scattering out a little bit more up there. pain field is kind of, Everett, is a little socked in. There's a plane right there, going into SeaTac. And I have them on the radar here too. So there's a plane. That's probably that one. Delta 2585 going 192 knots. Descending. There's 1,000 feet below us right now. It's just descending into SeaTac. A lot of good information from the systems around Seattle. All right, so everything looks pretty.
6 Delta Juliet, proceed to the low fall.
Direct low fall, 6 Delta Juliet.
So that was on my flight plan. So now we're going to go into a nav mode, and it's going to turn us on our flight plan, low fall. So now, we wasted, quite a bit of time going around doing that, so it's not really a 35-minute flight. So at this point, we still have 29 minutes to get to Friday Harbor. Because we haven't passed where we took off.
Yeah.
We just kind of went that way.
How far can you typically go on like a tank of gas?
Well, it depends on the winds, right? If you have big headwind or versus a tailwind, there's a jet going into SeaTac there, and you can just barely see Seattle through the clouds there, downtown Seattle. But I can go 1,000 miles.
Oh, okay. Pretty good.
Yeah. I flew nonstop to Ketchikan, Alaska. I can fly, easily to Northern California, and even maybe a little beyond that. So yeah, so that's it. So now we're not going to be talking. There, I'll hear them. So feel free to talk. I can always isolate you guys if I get into a conversation with this thing and you guys are too loud. Audio panel.
So when he's telling you a heading, I see you're just kind of turning a knob. Is that is controlling your heading?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is an autopilot.
Okay.
And I don't always use the autopilot, but it's really nice to use the autopilot. And it's very accurate when you're IFR flying, but you have to be able to do it without the autopilot. But there's a heading here, which is a magnetic heading, and this is also a magnetic heading off a compass that's in the tip of the wing. So I've got a heading right here of 314, heading 315, and I've got information about the winds up here too. There's a little bit of a wind from 280 at 5 knots, so we don't have much of a headwind. We have 4 knot headwind. We're going 140 knots, which is about 165 miles an hour over the ground right now. Over in the air, and over the ground we're going, maybe 4 knots less. And so, yeah, I've got the heading. He's giving me vectors. That's what they call that, vectors for wherever we're going to go. So we were on vectors so he could control me where to go, and I had to keep those heading within 5 degrees less, ideally, and I had to keep my altitude within a couple hundred feet. If I did either of those things wrong, I'd be getting a call from the FAA and probably some recurrent training. So that's West Point there, and you can see the ship canal in Schulchel.
Yeah.
And we won't see it today, but there's going to be a shit ton of fishermen out in Admiralty Inlet, because evidently the fishing is really good there too. So yeah, you fly headings, or you fly magnetic courses or VOR courses. They're highways in the sky that are based on the old type of navigation, which is a omnidirectional beacon from the ground, but now GPS has pretty much supplanted that, so most people still fly those airways because those are still published as the airways. but we use more likely GPS to do it. So for instance, this is a chart. This is a navigational chart, and this one is the IFR chart.
Okay, 53, so approach 21, right?
The VFR chart. We used to fly with these, in our laps, basically. So this is a VFR chart. It's got, airports and all the information on it.
853, turning 150.
Or an IFR chart.
7,000, vector 50.
It's got airways. So like these different airways and all these different points, VORs and navigation points and stuff like that. For what we're doing, we're looking at Friday Harbor, okay? So into Friday Harbor, there is a chart, or an IFR chart. We're going to be landing to the north, because that's the only IFR thing there is. So it looks like this, and basically there's all sorts of information about how you do it, when you can do it, when you can't do it, and what to do if it fucks up, and all that kind of stuff. So we can come in at 2,000 feet to Defuka, and then we can go down to 467 feet before we have to say we're not landing. We're going right now to Lowfall, which is a little bit down here, and then we'll go to J-Volk, and then we'll do the approach.
630, so approach 21, right?
It's possible. It's all going to be clear when we get there. We won't have to do any of that stuff. We may do it anyway. But right now, we're going to switch and listen to the weather in Friday Harbor. So the weather in Friday Harbor is a recorded weather from an electronic station. There's no tower. There's nobody controlling the traffic up there. The pilots control it themselves. But Whidbey Approach, which is based over here on Whidbey Island, where all the jets are, will be the next person that we talk to, and he'll hand us off right around Lowfall to talk to Whidbey Approach, and Whidbey will control us into this approach. There'll be other planes making this approach, mainly Canmore air flights into and out of Friday Harbor, and maybe some other people flying in there. So let's listen to the weather and see if we're likely to have to do it.
Harbor, Washington. Automated weather observation.
853, captain approach 133.65.
Wind variable at 06.
That's good.
Visibility 10.
That's good.
Sky conditions clear.
3630, turning 150 and maintain 7,000, vector 50.
2.10 Celsius. Altimeter 3003.
All right, so basically, it's clear. Doesn't mean it's not going to be foggy right up to Friday Harbor, or cloudy. So we still do the approach, but there's no problem getting in. And the altimeter is the same, so there isn't a big pressure gradient. There's not a lot going on. It's nice and smooth. This is an ideal way to do it this way, because if we did it the other way, we'd have to be scudding around underneath the clouds, and then we get up there and there's a cloud mass. We could go on top, assuming that you would get to Friday Harbor and it'd be clear and you could go down without an approach, but sometimes it moves in, and so if you can fly IFR, which is extra training, extra certification, extra all that stuff, that's the way to go, and gives you a lot more capability. Pretty cool, huh?
It's
Super
awesome.
cool.
Awesome.
So yeah, we'll get up here. So our flight plan is from Renton to Lowfall, which is basically out here, and I just know that's basically what they like. And then to J-Volk, which is the initial approach fix for the IFR approach into Friday Harbor. The winds are light, which means that we could go straight in. If it's really windy from the south, then you have to go in and you have to do a circle to land, which has different minimums, different challenges to it. But it's nice when you can just go straight in. So hopefully it's like foggy up to there, and I'll just go straight in. We'll just land on the approach. It'll be fun to do. Yeah, beats traffic, huh?
Oh yeah.
Beats the ferries. Sure, a disaster. right now.
These are the Olympics on the left, right?
Yep. So, what are we over here? We're just leaving Bainbridge Island, and Hood Canal is like right underneath us, going up that way. Yeah, you could probably bring up Google Maps on your phone and just see where we are. It should work. Take a minute to
3630, reduce speed to
Go in.
190 and contact
I've got a
approach
signal.
3.65.
When we get close, we'll listen to the
6 Delta Juliet, contact would be approach on 118.2.
118.2, Skyline 6 Delta Juliet.
Alaska 1460, turn right 150, maintain 7.
We're going to make sure he's not talking to anybody and I don't interrupt their conversation.
Would be approach, Skyline 456 Delta Juliet 4000.
Skyline 456 Delta Juliet will be approaching altimeter 3003. Approach question.
03, we'd like the GPS straight in approach to 34 LPV approach to Friday Harbor, 456 Delta Juliet.
Cable, RNF 34.
Okay, direct Jable 456 Delta Juliet.
Right here, they cut out a little bit sometimes, but I pretty much know what he was going to say. I actually have a playback in this thing.
Cable, RNF 34.
So he said, you know, expect direct J-bolt, expect Robert to have 3-4. But now we're going direct J-bolt, so we're going to set up the approach. So the approach into Friday Harbor, we're going to do the RNAV 3-4 LPV approach. The transition is going to be J-bolt. We're not going to fly a course reversal, hopefully. And that would be a hold out there. That's if somebody else, that happened to me last time I came in here. It was very iffy weather, and they were waiting to get some light flight airplanes out of Friday Harbor, and so I was almost to J-Volt to go in, and he's like, approach clearance canceled, hold at J-Volt, and I'm like, okay. All right, so now we're going to load approach, and we can activate it too, because we're just going direct to J-Volt. So now we've got the approach in here, going direct to J-Volt, and then the next waypoint is Tefuka. And so that's the kind of straight in kind of map, and this is the altitude map. So we go at above 2,000 into J-Volt, above 2,000 to Tefuka, and you start going down into Tefuka. So we'll go along here for a while, and then he'll give us a descent, and we'll anticipate that by just pulling off a little power so that we don't get going too fast in descent. This map has the approach and the missed approach. So the missed approach is what you do if you don't see the runway and you have to go around. So the missed approach instructions are climb to 1,000, then right turn to 5,000, direct to island and hold. So it doesn't actually have that on here, which is interesting, but it'll have it on here. So if we go into Friday Harbor, if we don't get there, we turn right, we go out here, and we go into a hold and try it again, or go somewhere else. But that won't happen today. I'm guessing we'll get down through the clouds a little bit, unless they end before we get there and we see the Friday Harbor, in which case we'll just cancel probably. Or maybe we'll just do the approach and you guys can see how that works. This little TOD is the top of descent, so the computer is calculating the top of descent for a particular descent rate, which I'm going to change. Vertical navigation descent rate now is set up at
Alright, Boss 21 departure, climb maintain 9.
670 feet per minute. I'm going to go more like 550. That's going to change the area and bring it in a little closer to me. So we actually have 5 minutes until our top of descent, but that would be a suggested top of descent for that. He may make us go down a little earlier, a little slower, lower.
Boss 21 radar contact.
But we're listening for him to tell us to descend. And if you don't want to really be too low over the water.
Yeah.
Because it'd be nice to stay high, and then you'd be in gliding distance to the land potentially, or closer to the land. Because that's no bueno. Get wet. So yeah, for IFR approach, we're basically set up. We have everything set in.
Turn left direct to it.
Our next altitude is going to be like 2,000, so I'll just put 2,000 in there. This is an altitude bug. We've got a minimum airport altitude of 467. So that's just in there as a reminder for the minimums for the airport.
Alright, Boss 21, contact south.
And I'm going to start monitoring the Friday Harbor VFR traffic, which is there. So I'm listening to this, but talking and listening to him too. So you'll hear some other people now because it's the same frequency for everywhere. So all the people flying around in Friday Harbor, Orcas Island, Anacortes, all those areas are going to be calling out where they are and what they're doing. So I'm listening for somebody having trouble going into Friday Harbor or in Friday Harbor. I'm just making sure I know, and I'll be listening to them all the way so that eventually when we transfer to it, I'll know where everybody says they are and what's going on down there. So now we've got about 15.
Departure, Renton 78 is passing at 15.
It won't be long.
Renton 78 departure, radar contact, climb maintain 9,000, leaving 2,000, turn left direct to Chile. Climb maintain 9,000, leaving 2,000 left.
11 minutes. I'll listen to the weather again pretty soon, just to make sure it's still clear. As the fog has a tendency to roll in sometimes. Usually, Sheldon's being pretty good back there.
You want a picture?
Yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Sheldon's doing great back here.
Here, give me your phone.
Do a selfie.
I'll do a selfie of all of us.
Remember, 6
Yeah,
Juliet,
get it right.
J-Volk at above 2,000, cleared straight in, RNAV 3 for approach Friday Harbor Airport.
Cross J-Volk, outer above 2,000, clear for the straight and approach 456 Delta Juliet.
Okay. Hit the approach button. Actually, start going down.
And Anacortes are
500 feet per minute.
Plane 422 is just up north of the Phonomes Channel with 900 people transitioning. Westbound to Clinton.
So, yeah, let's get the first selfie. Good job. Share your good ones with me.
Why does on your screen, the little circle around the plane, it's kind of like
This one?
misshapen? No, the blue one on the left.
Oh. That actually is a glide range.
Okay.
So, based on the glide ratio, if we had an engine out, that is where we would be able to glide to if we pitch for best glide right away.
78. So heading 160.
And it's abnormal like that because of the winds.
Right.
So it's actually pretty damn smart.
Okay, 78, contact
And this plane, with the autopilot, it's got this emergency button. And you can actually, right now, it's got those little arrows to this airstrip, Diamond Point airstrip. So that is within landing range. So basically what would happen if we had an engine stop right now, I'd kind of pitch up, I'd hit this emergency button and hit it. It would turn. It would turn towards the airport. It would pitch the airplane, glide for 80 knots, which is the best glide ratio, and hopefully we'd make it to the airport. Pretty sweet.
Awesome.
Oh, cool. Yeah, this is quite the avionics suite. All right, let's listen to the weather again.
80 at 09er. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature
So
1.
the wind changed
Dew point
quite a bit from
10
variable
Celsius.
to from the south.
Altimeter 3003. Remarks. Density altitude 200.
So we'll probably go down, turn around, and
Friday
land.
Harbor Airport, Friday Harbor, Washington. Automated weather observation 1705 Zulu. Wind 170 at 08. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear.
Okay. So now we're in the clouds, 2,700 feet. 2 minutes from the point at which we turn inbound. Turn the lights on. I still haven't heard anybody talking.
Traffic channel 3, left base 16 Orchid.
Yeah, there's somebody landing to 16 to the south at Orcas. So the wind is coming from the south there, as it is in Friday Harbor now. So we're going to go and turn and land into the wind. Okay. Minute and a half. This is our little plane coming in on the approach there. Called a geo-referenced chart. Been pulling back the power so that we didn't go going too fast. Still going about 165 miles an hour.
Okay, channel 3, final 16 Orchid.
And I'm flying the glide path. Basically, there'll be instruments, indications on my instrument here. Let's see.
And a quarter area traffic order 422.
Get the same thing here. So basically, airspeed, altitude, navigation, all that's navigation, autopilot information, blah, blah, blah. Lots of stuff. If I had a failure over here, it would revert to over there. Plus I have another one here that's basically the same thing. Okay, we're at 2,000 feet.
Departure climb, maintain 9 south.
Pretty soon he's going to talk to me and he's going to say, you can change frequencies, cancel IFR
51 radar contact
with me.
2000, turn left direct cool.
Now you can see the water.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we can see the airport. We're still...
Juliet, change advisory frequency, approved for your IFR cancellation in the air. This frequency, you're on the ground via Seattle radio.
We'll report with you in the air or on the ground and change frequency, 456 Juliet. Okay, so we'll just go a little bit further just to make sure we don't, get back into a cloud. And then we're going to call him and cancel, and then we're just going to do our own thing, talk to the local people. But I'm going to talk to local people anyway right now, so I'm switching frequencies. Still monitoring him, but I'm not talking to him anymore. We are 11 miles to the south. Friday Harbor traffic, Skyline 6 Delta Juliet, it's 11 to the south. Plan on right traffic for 16 Friday Harbor. If we were going to do the approach, we would talk to him about that. But now that we're clear, I'm just going to cancel IFR, get ourselves off his list of things to do, and he'll appreciate that.
Would be approach Skyline 456 Delta Juliet, cancel IFR.
Phoenix 5-1, contact Seattle Center, Channel 7. Number 6 Delta Juliet, were you canceling?
Canceling.
6 Delta Juliet, IFR cancellation, receive Squawk VFR, free change approved.
Squawk VFR, thanks, Skyline 6 Delta Juliet.
Phoenix 3, when we approach, we altimeter 3003.
I don't want to hear him anymore.
Stay approach.
He's talking to jets in and out of Whidbey. Okay, so this is San Juan Island. That's Lopez Island. We're going to go fishing right down here. You see all those boats kind of down there? That is called the Cape and South Beach and American Camp National Historic Park. The house is actually at the end of that. See that little island in that, right between those two, between Lopez and San Juan Island, that little island out there? It's called Goose Island. Our house is right on facing that, so.
Nice.
Yeah, it's sweet. So there's a plane right in front of us. I can see him on the on here. Him on here, and I see him right out there. Kenmore Air. 978 Kenmore Air. He just came across the border.
Yeah, that's Victoria on our left, right?
Yep, that's Victoria.
Headquarters area, traffic fever 689. 900, 2 miles north of the runway. We're headed westbound.
Okay, so we're just back to engine page. So now we're going to follow kind of the VFR rules to go into here. VFR means visual flight rules to go into Friday Harbor, and that is that we land turning to right, called right traffic. So now other people are going to be flying around. I'm sure somebody's going to be coming in and out of Friday Harbor by the time we get there because it's just busy, and it's 10 o'clock, so people are starting to get there.
Friday Harbor traffic, Skyline 6 Delta Juliet, 6 to the south, coming up on American Camp for right traffic, 16 Friday Harbor.
That's where we're going to fish.
Oh, it looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks like
422 is Thatcher Pass.
there's a little bit of a wind, but I don't see any white caps or anything like that. This area here on the left, you see the boats, it's called Eagle Point. Very popular spot to fish. Very popular. Down there. That's False Bay. See the bay up there? It's basically super shallow.
Right.
And this is American Camp. You'll see that little picket fence with that's the visitor, not the visitor center. That's some of the old barracks for the Americans who were stationed here in the 1800s. The British camp, that's before it was American land. The English camp was on the other side of the island over there. And they had almost had a war. All right, so we'll start focusing on landing now. Looks like somebody just took off. 825. Surprised I didn't hear him. And more caravan right there. Now it's all about slowing down. Let's listen to the wind again.
Clear. Temperature 17 Celsius. Dew point 10 Celsius. Altimeter
Put the landing gear down.
3003. Remarks. Density altitude 300.
Okay, landing's geared down. I see him in the mirror.
Friday Harbor, Washington.
Flaps in.
Automated weather observation. 171.
That's him.
90 at 07. Visibility 1.
So it's coming a little bit from our side, so we're going to widen out a little bit so we don't get blown across during the base.
Friday Harbor traffic, Skyline 6 Delta Juliet, Golf Course downwind, right traffic 16 Friday Harbor.
And under 422s by the Lopez Ferry Terminal westbound, 1000 feet to Hardy Channel. Landing Roach.
It's downtown Friday Harbor there. Have you guys been up here ever?
Oh yeah.
I have.
Island traffic on read 7 kilo Alpha is just west of Decatur. We're descending eastbound out of 1.9 island traffic. Island traffic, Seaver 689.
You can see the ferry over there where it comes in.
800 westbound for Friday.
That's the marina where we're going the boat. Okay. Now, mixture rich, flaps full, we got the gear down, that looks good. Flaps in. And nobody flying around here yet.
Ready for traffic, Skyline 6 Delta Juliet, it's right base 16 Friday Harbor. Ready for traffic, 6 Delta Juliet, final 16 Friday Harbor.
It's a little bumpy here because the wind kind of comes over the land a little bit.
Yeah, 422 is by the Orcas Ferry Dock, westbound 1000 for Rosewater.
Whoa. Got a little bit of a bump there. All right, we are here.
Awesome.
Yep, it was a good flight.
That was fun.